goal, then you tighten up. Kick a field goal, then you tighten up. First and 10, then you tighten up. Interception, then you tighten up. Fourth and goal, then you tighten up. Kick a field goal, then you tighten up. First and 10, then you tighten up. Interception, then you tighten up. Tighten up, tighten up, tighten up, tighten up.
Going on, everybody? Welcome back to Titan Town. Today I'm joined by some of my friends for the first time ever on this channel. I've got from the best damn Tennessee Titan podcast, Ryan Moreland. How you doing, Ryan?
Good. How are you, man? Glad to be here.
It's going great. Hopefully it'll go smooth. First time doing this, so let's see what happens. And then we also got Tyler Musson, who does a lot of help for Ryan behind the scenes on TTU. So say hi, Tyler.
How are y'all? Ready to talk some Titans.
And we've got Chris from Titans in Truth, who was introduced to me by Ryan. How you doing, Chris? He's getting a workout in tonight.
Hey, I'm doing good. Trying to burn calories.
All right, so the Tennessee Titans schedule was released today, so I'm going to run through and tell you who all the Titans are playing this season. I'm sure you already know. We're going to talk about which games we're most excited for, so let's go ahead and jump into it. On Sunday, September the 9th, the Titans will play at the Miami Dolphins. Sunday, September 16th, they'll play Houston here at home. September 23rd, we're at Jacksonville. Sunday, September 30th, we've got Philadelphia here at home. October 7th, we've got Buffalo. They're in Buffalo. October 14th, we got Baltimore at home. October 21st, we're going to London to play the LA Chargers across the seas. Then we got the bye week. They're in October 28th. November 11th, we're at Dallas, which is a Monday night game. 11-11, we're playing the New England Patriots, who kicked us out of the playoffs last year. 11-18, November 18th, we're playing the Indianapolis Colts. They're in Indianapolis. November 26th, we're playing Houston, and that is going to be a Monday night game as well. December the 2nd, we're playing the New York Jets here at home. December the 6th, we're playing Jacksonville, and that is a Thursday night game. December 16th, we're at the New York Giants. We're playing the Washington Redskins I believe it's either on the 23rd or the 22nd. That is to be determined. And we're playing Indianapolis at home to finish out the season. So I'll start with you, Ryan. Which one of those games do you think you're most excited to see this year?
There's so many good ones to choose from here. You know, we're taking on the defending Super Bowl champions at home. We have the team that bounced us out of the playoffs at home. But for me personally, and plus you got to mention that Thursday night game against the Jaguars, considering where both of our teams are. But for me personally, my dad is a die-hard Cowboys fan. So that Monday night game going into Dallas, I'm looking forward to that one already. I'm going to see if I can talk him into getting some tickets and making our way down to Dallas and then seeing that one in person. But for me, that one's got to be pretty exciting.
I like that answer. That was actually the one I was going to pick. I'll pick a different one because I like how both these teams match up. Two young, exciting quarterbacks, two dominant offensive lines. Derrick Henry versus Ezekiel Elliott, the top two running backs in the 2016 class. But what about you, Tyler? Who are you liking in this schedule?
It's actually a tie. I also, in terms of the Dallas Cowboys, I agree with Ryan because I'm a known Buckeye fan, but ever since Zeke went to the Cowboys, I can't stand the Cowboys, and I have family that are Cowboys fans and always putting down the Titans. They're like, oh, the Titans play the Cowboys this year, and now I see it's on Monday night. It'd be great to just see them embarrassed by the Titans. The other one that is a close tie, it would have to be the London game because not only do we get to show to our fan base that we can stop like Joey Bosa, we can stop Melvin Ingram, all that. We actually get to expand our fan base a little bit. This will be the Titans' first crack at the European continent. Getting more fans because, they're trying to bring in newer and newer teams every year, except for Jacksonville because, they might end up going to London. But this should be good for Nashville because they have an opportunity to cross the ocean and get more fans across the ocean. So I think the Dallas and the Chargers game in London are my two tops.
I agree. I was also looking at both of those games. What about you, Chris? Which game are you most looking forward to?
Well, there's actually two that I'm looking forward to, definitely. First one, and this is actually, I'm going to go straight to the top. I hate the New England Patriots with a passion. Any of the fans of Titans who probably knows that. Anybody that knows me probably knows that. So with the storyline, by Coach Vrabel and Malcolm Butler being on the team with Deion Lewis, it will be a wonderful, wonderful time for us to spank them Patriots to death in that game. And then also I would say another one, I would have to go with playing against Philly. We get to see how we stack up against the very best there is. And I know I have a good friend of mine who is an Eagles fan, so I know him and his wife might come up for the game. So as much as I like to entertain my friends, I'll be kind of happy to send them home with a loss. So, maybe we hit Carson a few times.
I got a guy at work. He's a Patriot fan, and after the Patriots beat the Titans, he just gave me this whole spiel about how the Titans, have sucked for so long and all that. And, I looked him dead in the eyes. I'm like, okay, now when Tom Brady leaves and Gronk retires and Bill Belichick retires and your team is 2-14 for 10 straight years, I want to see if you're still proud to wear that number 12 jersey. So, as like I told him, you guys haven't been screwed over by bad GMs and coaches. So I'm like you. It's a bitter hatred I have for the Patriots now.
Yeah, I agree with that.
First in this
I agree with that.
I should have went first in this one. Y'all took all of my answers. But guys, you're at home listening. Leave us a comment. Let us know which game you're looking forward to the most. I guess since they took all of my answers, I'll go with the very first game of the season, Miami Dolphins. We're going to be getting to see our new offense, our new defense for the very first time in full swing. We'll get to see glimpses of it in the preseason, but that first game against the Dolphins is when we're really going to start seeing things. We're going to see the Titans' game plan. We're going to get to see our new rookies in action. So that game, I guess that's going to be a lot of fun too. But I was thinking them Super Bowl contenders. I was wanting to pick one of them. I was wanting to pick the London game too. I was wanting to pick the Cowboys game, but we got a lot to look forward to. Now we're going to move in to talk a little bit about draft. What is one candidate that you think the Titans should grab, that you want them to grab most realistically if they stick at 25 or trade up a few spots? Who do you want the most? Go ahead, Ryan.
I'll start off with what I think is going to happen. That's trade back. But if I have to pick a player, I think it would be Harold Landry at this point. It makes sense. He's likely going to be there. It's so hard to pick at 25, man, because you don't know what's going to happen in front of you. I've been doing a mock draft with a bunch of guys from the AFC South Unleashed page. We've been doing like a mock draft for all today. And there was like 6 quarterbacks gone in like the first 15 picks. I mean, you never know what's going to happen. That's not that unrealistic. It definitely could happen. So it's hard to tell. But Landry's a guy that that definitely sticks out. A lot of people have been mocking him there. I can tell you it's not going to be a tight end. I'm still trying to push that through to people, but that's the guy I'd go with.
Yeah. That's hilarious when I see Todd McShay and all of them. Hayden Hurst, who's the one kid from South Dakota State or whatever.
Goddard.
Like, yeah, and I'm like, no. I'm like, this is ridiculous. We don't have a dire need, but Delaney's still got a lot of tread on his tires.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I agree with that totally.
Yeah, we got a young backup, too, behind him that had a pretty promising rookie career as a backup, too. I mean, there's no need to go after it. Because the one thing we are missing is a really great blocking tight end. I'll agree with that, but you're not drafting a blocking tight end at 25 overall.
Absolutely not.
Right, I agree. If you listen to Ryan Moreland's podcast, if you're not, you should. You'll know that me and Tyler, we don't care much for Ryan's pick. So who is your pick, Tyler?
Wait a minute. Are we going?
Someone's got to be wrong, so I'll leave that to you guys.
Somebody is.
Who I think will go.
who do you want the most? Realistically, who do you want the most if they stick at 25, or if they're willing to trade up a few slots? Because John Robinson did say there will be good players at 25, and if there's a player within striking distance that the team wants, they will go up and get him. So, who is that player for you? Who do you think it would be?
This is where Ryan's going to call me a homer. Who I want is Sam Hubbard. I think they've seen a lot. Well, here's the thing. Like we said on the podcast, Vrabel and Coombs both helped recruit Sam Hubbard. So they already have inside track knowledge, whereas you'd have to bring in some of these guys that are unknowns. You only get a little bit of time with them. You don't know much. But Vrabel and Coombs brought him in, and they recruited him in college. So I think they have an inside track of being able to find out what makes him tick, you know, things of that nature to see if he's going to be a good pick. And I think he'd be a good fifth overall. Now, who do I think they'll take? I've got a bad feeling, and I have to agree with Ryan. It'll be Landry, because I don't know, something about, you see all these mocks and everything. Harold Landry. What's going to happen is a lot of quarterbacks are going to go early, and then that's going to push pass specialists down. So it's just a matter of what team finds what guy good, which one they're going to take. Davenport, Landry, Arden Key, Hubbard, but I personally want Sam Hubbard because I think he can play all around. He can play outside linebacker. He can run at the quarterback. He's not just a pass specialist like Harold Landry. And if you listen to the podcast, I called Landry a bust. So that's the biggest reason frightens me that we might actually end up. So
you're right. I am going to call you a homer.
So far we got two edge rushers. Ryan and Tyler both went edge rusher. What about you, Chris? Who you got?
All right. Well, before I give mine, I want to ask y'all a question then. Tyler has a bad feeling about Sam Hubbard. The question is, do you think Sam Hubbard could play in a 3-4, or is he just better as a 4-3 hand in the dirt kind of guy?
Yeah, I believe he can play in a 3-4. Now, what they ran at Ohio State was mostly 4-3. But what I also noted in the podcast, he was recruited as a safety. And the reason he was pushed up on the line is because they saw his technique, his high football IQ, things of that nature. And they pushed him to the D line. If you watch his film, there's several plays at least at some point during the game where they drop him in coverage. They drop him on the outs. They pull him up the middle. Different points where he shows he has cover ability. And he shows his best run defense is read option. Now, like I also said, you can judge a lot by read option, even though it's not ran very often. You can judge somebody's tackling technique, how they approach a running back, things of that nature. I think he's a complete package, whereas Harold Landry is a one-trick pony, and that's a pass specialist. So he was played in the run game. That's why I think Hubbard's better all around, because we've seen him. He's like Bosa. I called for Bosa to be our pick at one point before we traded, because I saw he could drop into coverage and all that. Now he's strictly a DE now, but I think he falls into that same category.
Okay. Now, and a question. Even though I'll be good with Landry and Sam Hubbard, I think, and I doubt they do this, to hit a home run, your first round pick has to be a day one starter, somebody that can come in right now and do the job. And there is one spot where we need a starter right now. And I'm going down South Alabama, where Rashaan Evans is a linebacker. He's got to be the guy. He can start right away. Wesley Woodyard get up there in years. He ain't going to have much left. So I just think Rashaan would be the perfect fit, can start day one. He could do some of everything. They worked him out. I just think he would be a good pick. Plus, I think inside linebacker, it drops off after the first round. Pass rusher, you could probably find some guys in the second or third round. But that's why I just think Rashad Evans will be a home run.
For me,
I mean, I
it's
think
a
it's
guy
a
that
good pick.
Oh, sorry, Ryan, go ahead.
I was just going to say it's a good pick. This is a really deep and very stacked interior linebacker draft class.
The only one I
Really?
would want in the first round would be to take Rashawn Evans in at there's not a whole lot of picks in the first round where I'm going to say, well, we just blew it. We just played the first round unless it's Landry or Leighton Vander Esch. Leighton Vander Esch would be one that I would not want in the first round. Leighton would be one that I would take in the second round. But Rashawn, if get up, like he said, he's definitely you don't.
But I mean, do you really think that Will Compton can come in day one and be like
that's what I'm. He's a space filler right now, basically.
Exactly. And that's why I say that because, again, I think after Rashawn Evans and Leighton Vander Esch, there's a serious drop-off in talent at the middle linebacker position. Pass rusher, you could have Hubbard maybe fall to the second round or Ronquo from Oklahoma. I would say stay away from Arden Key, but maybe he's there in the second round. Josh Sweat, I don't know if he'll be there in the second round, but you have a little bit more talent at the pass rusher position second round.
Durant's Armstrong too. He'll be there, and there's several guys that they're looking at that will be there for pass rusher if they want to go there.
Right now,
So we're not totally screwed if we go inside linebacker and we still need an edge because there are talented second rounders.
Right. The guy I was going to go with, Chris actually brought him up, is Arden Key. The Titans did invite him to a private invite. And those are the guys, when you go through the list, those are the guys you want to look at, the guys who the Titans have had contact with more than once or have gotten an official private invite, one of their 30 visits. He was one of those guys. If the Titans are comfortable with his off-field stuff and his commitment, that would be a guy that could really be a steal at 25. If he would have declared for the draft last year before all this inconsistent play this year and all the off-field stuff come up about his willingness to commit to football, there would have been people who would have had him above Myles Garrett. Do I think he is above Myles Garrett? No, but he is on that talent level. He would be right up there. If he was committed to football and didn't have inconsistent play this year, he would have been right there with Bradley Chubb as the top edge rusher in this draft. But there is a few off-field concerns. His play did slip a little bit this year, but he's got the physical tools to be a dynamic pass rusher in the years to come. And another guy would be Malik Jefferson, who also got a private invite. Now, he is a later first round or second round talent, but he's just a do-it-all linebacker. He can do anything you want him to do. And before I forget, guys, watching this, leave us a comment below. Tell us which game you're most excited for, and let us know which draft pick that you want which draft prospect you want to be a Titan next year. So, does anybody got anything to add to that? Go ahead.
I was just going to say go ahead, Chris.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut y'all off on that one, but with Arden Key, I'm sorry. If I'm anybody out there, I'm telling you, buyer beware. I would not touch Arden Key with a 10-foot pole if I could, and I can't because you want consistency, but you also don't want the character issues that can linger on. We've seen guys like Randy Gregory and all these guys come in with off-the-field issues. You think they're going to straighten them out, but they don't, and they end up being a problem going forward. So I'm very leery when it comes to Arden Key, to my honest opinion. I feel that way like Tyler feels about Harold Landry. I would stay away from him as far as possible. Malik Jefferson could be a good second-round pick. I wouldn't mind seeing him, but Arden Key I'm not really big on. And I want to get your thoughts on this. Have you noticed that they've been bringing in a lot of corners lately, too? Yeah. They brought in quite a few.
First-round corners, too. Yeah.
Yeah. Jared Alexander.
Best player available in round one.
Yeah. I'd be upset if we took cornerback round one, especially with, you want to build for the future because Malcolm Butler is not going to be here for the eternity like Jalen Ramsey would be in Jacksonville. But we don't, that we can go quarterback in third round. I'll be like happy as a clam. But if it's first round, like, facepalm meme.
I would be okay with it if it was the best player available. I mean, I would. It's not that big. There's no place where we're really hurting. And it's the first time we can say that in a long time. I was just going to talk about Landry real quick. I'm still okay with taking him at 25. And you're right, Tyler. He is a one-trick pony, but so is Bruce Irvin. And Bruce Irvin's like a hell of a football player. There's a lot of guys that are one-trick ponies, but your one trick is pass rushing. You're going to be useful in the NFL. So it'd still be okay with taking him there, but it depends. It would really have to be a situation where a lot of defensive pieces go off the board early in front of us, and then we're stuck where Landry's going to be one of the best available. If you got a lot of talent still there and we're taking Landry, I'm probably going to be a little upset, but, I think you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think we all kind of feel about the same way, and it's that John Robinson obviously knows what the hell he's doing, so I'm not going to be that mad.
And this is also something I said. I can't – actually, this might have been on Facebook. Might have not been on the podcast. I can't see John Robinson happy with just 6 rounds or 6 overall picks, which, you see all these analysts. Titans going to trade up for Landry. Titans going to trade up to get whoever. I can't see us trading up first round at all because that will demand too much draft capital, and J-Rob can't be happy with 6 alone right now.
I agree.
If anything, we're going to trade back. And, last year I guarantee we were going to trade back at 5. That's why we went all the way down to like 20 seconds left on the clock. Because, they're sitting there fielding offers. They're trying to find one they like. But Trubisky being taken by the Bears, it blew everything up. This year, I think it's most definitely going to happen because guys they visited, for the most part, in terms of edge and D lineman and even cornerback, a lot of them are in that back end first round to front second round. So I think they're definitely going to be in trade area, especially since they only have 6 rounds of picks.
All right, I got one last question for you guys, and we'll get out of here. There's a lot of talk about trading back here tonight. What is one team you think the Titans could trade back with to move up into the first round, to move into the second round? What is the team you think would be willing to jump up with the Titans to make that trade up?
I'll go ahead and steal the safe answer, and that's the Cleveland Browns, since they have half of the draft or the picks in the draft. If we're going to make a deal, it's probably going to be with them. Plus, it's a team we know is going to be aggressive, and they want to get good now. They want to start building something. They're starting to have a team worth looking at, and if they play their cards right, they're going to have a damn good team fast. So, I think that Cleveland is always going to be a buyer for the next probably 2 or 3 drafts. So that's definitely a team we could be looking at.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. I mean, I think Cleveland would be an obvious.
Oh, we lost Chris. Go ahead, Tyler. Who you got?
I think Cleveland would be a good option, but I also think a team that might be a little more desperate than Cleveland. I mean, listen to me. Who the hell is more desperate? But I think the Giants might be. John Robinson might be able to. With Cleveland, what you're going to get is, they're going to understand. Hey, we have a lot of picks. We're going to try and weasel you out, or whatever, so we don't have to pay top dollar. And obviously the Browns have 2 second-round picks, but the Giants probably would be more willing to say, hey, we'll give you this and this because we took a quarterback at 2nd overall, and we need a running back. Say Rashad Penny drops, Sony Michel drops, all these quality guys that they fall in love with. They'd probably be willing to pay more than the Browns would because I'm sure the Browns think this is the year we have to cash in on all this stuff we've done over the last 2 years. So they're going to play it close to the vest, Whereas the Giants, the Giants are in desperation mode. And, OBJ, Eli needing a new quarterback, new basic everything with the Giants.
Just tonight they cut Brandon Marshall too.
Yeah. See, and even more, they're trying to cut ties so they can just have a new clean slate. So if we were to trade with the Giants at 34th overall, we'd be able to get more out of them than I think we would.
Let me ask you this
Get
question.
Chris back. Chris, who you got? Who you think the Titans could trade back with if they wanted to move up?
Don't know what happened there. I apologize for that. What I was thinking was, and this might be probably one that I know in God's green earth that won't happen. I think the Giants are more likely. What about the Colts? I know they're in the same division as us, and usually you do not see, trades with division rivals. But they got a lot of draft capital too. And, they may be trying to just stay in as much control of this draft as possible. So, that could be a dark horse, but I agree. I think the Giants might be the most desperate, especially if they go running back with Saquon Barkley. Then they're going to try to trade up and get that one last quarterback that's available, either Mason Rudolph or Lamar Jackson if he's sitting there. So that could be one. And then also, I believe Tyler, mentioned running back. If they do go quarterback, Darius Geis might be sitting there too. So the Giants might try to trade up for him as well. So there's some room to make some capital. And I even mentioned this on Titans and Truth yesterday. I said, and I asked everybody, how many trades you think he's going to make? I said over and under at about 2.5. I think he's going to make 3 trades in this draft, at least 3 trades. Yeah. And I think out of the first round or lower in the first round, I think it's a definite possibility. I'm going to say about 80% chance he trades down.
I think he's going to use what he gets, that I'm sure he'll get additional second rounder, and then he'll get like a third rounder or so. I'm sure he's going to package that third or maybe even a fourth, whatever it is. I'm sure he's going to package it to maybe get back up in the second, maybe to get up early. Who knows? But, yeah, I do think he's going to make more than 2 trades. Quick question. What would you take for 25th overall? The Giants are on the phone. They want 25th. What do you take, and what do you send them, if anything?
Well, for me, I also would pick the Giants. The Giants are going to be a wild horse, and they're going to change this draft at number 2. Whether they stick and pick, trade out of it, they stick and pick, they could go quarterback, or they could go best player available, whoever it is on their board, between Saquon Barkley, Bradley Chubb, or Quentin Nelson. They could pick any 3 of those guys, and then they'll have to trade up to get ahead of the Patriots if they want to get their next best quarterback on the board. But if I'm trading with the Giants, I would probably ask for, of course, their second, probably a 4th, and a future pick in the next draft. It wouldn't be too terribly much because we're only moving back, 8 spots, 5, 6, 7, 8 spots, something like that. So it wouldn't be too terribly much, but you're going to get a lot in return, a 4th and a 5th. That's good quality mid-round picks.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I would try to sneak a second and a third out of them, but I doubt you're going to get that. Probably a second and a 4th, and maybe like a 4th or a 5th the following year.
Yeah, I agree with that. But knowing me, I'm going to try to be greedy. I might try to say a second or 4th, maybe throw in a second or 3rd next year. To do that. I say that. I'm going to be greedy. I'm going to be like, look, give me that second next year.
The Eagles, when they took Carson Wentz, they started at 14th or so. They moved up to 8th, and then they went from 8th to 2nd. Am I right? Or is it first? No, it was 2nd because LA had, they gave up a fortune to move 7 spots, 6 spots, whatever. So if you're going the route of Cleveland, there stands possibility, hey, we have the money to burn. Let's get back up in 25. But you can also go the Giants, who are more desperate to get that last quarterback, get whatever, they would be more desperate than a team like Cleveland who's trying to cash in on what they have available. So I think 8 slots would also make it to where you kind of could, hey, we're going to need something more than just the 2nd or 4th. Now, from team to team, it's going to vary who goes, well, seems a little steep, but all right, because they want to get back up in the first round. So I just think it's going to depend on who the team is, if they're willing to bite on the third rounder also.
And I'll say this with Cleveland. I would do everything in my power with Cleveland. I'm getting 33 and 35 out of them. That I would have to tell them 33 and 35, non-negotiable.
Yep.
If there's only one of those picks, we're leaving. We'll just take whoever you want, and we'll take it there. But 33 and 35 have to be involved in that to make it happen. If Cleveland don't want to do that, Giants will be willing to do it.
Yep, I agree. That would be my first gambling chip that'd be the first offer I'd put on the table, and then if they denied it, play a little bit of a bluff game with them. Be like, well, okay, we'll give it to the Giants, or something, something of that nature.
Absolutely. Play some draft day with them.
Yep, exactly.
Right, that does seem like a bit much. But anyways, thanks for watching, guys. Be sure to like the video, subscribe if you hadn't. Description box below, you can find links to find all these guys. Check them out. They got a lot of great stuff on their channels or their podcasts, whatever it is they're doing. They got a lot of good, informative stuff. So check them out and come back April 26th. These guys are going to be here. We're going to be joined by a few more people. We're going to have a big night after we know who the newest Titan is officially. Hope you guys have a great day or night whenever you're watching this. God bless and tighten up.
Tighten up.
Tighten up.
Sir.